Hello, welcome back. Welcome back to segment 2 of the energies that are providing opportunities during this blood moon, during the blood moon that's here right now. In this particular time, it'll be actually coming in a couple of hours here. But there are opportunities that arise as a result of the energy. As we all know, the blood moon is a time for change, transformation, growth, introspection. Many things are ending. Segments of, different parts of our journey is ending as we're being ushered into new experiences and new opportunities that lead to growth. And so this is all about, excuse me one second, all about tapping into those energies for each of the signs. Just making sure. I did 4 signs earlier. I'm going to do the latter half of the zodiac list right now this evening. We're starting with Libra. Hi, Libra. Welcome to Blood Moon Oracle. Make sure you like, share, comment. We're just going to touch on the energies and see what comes out. So let's jump in. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe if you have not. So for you, I have commitment, number 11, which is a number that many times signifies to you that you're doing something right and to keep going in that same energy because it's working for you. This may, in fact, be ushering you into something a little bit deeper. The nature of this energy and the change that's coming in, this energy is communicating a deeper level of commitment in some type of way that's opening for you right now. The energies is causing the opportunity to arise to commit yourself on a deeper level. This could be with your relationships you're committed to. This could be to yourself. It could be to a certain goal that you've set or that you want to set. You finally just want to stop playing and get to it, right? You've been saying something, for a while, and now it's time to show and prove, right? So there's some deepening of your endeavor towards something. This energy is bringing out a deeper level of committing yourself. We also have insight, which brings up the method. It's at 8, 26 equals 8, which talks about action and moving forward, energy. So this is all about the energy and how you utilize it, moving towards your commitments and your goals during this time. This energy could also be highlighting or influencing you not only to get serious about what it is that you're committing to, but also to specify the actions that you'll take. This is more even not just an idea or thought, but this is also in action, committing to what would actually bring those things that you have in mind or those things that are before you that are opening up to you, these opportunities. It's even going to be very specific and all the way down to the specific steps and actions that will be taken, right? So it's very practical and idealistic. It's both of those. And so there's something about this time where you're going to be getting more serious, right, with what you want and being willing to put in the work for it as well. Now, I do see some difficulty coming in here. I almost feel like before this actually becomes a reality, there may be many things that need to be tore down with the Tower. The Tower talks about undoing or things coming down so that something can be rebuilt in a stronger way with a more sure foundation. But it's necessary because this comes before the new start. So this may usher in a time where things feel a little bit chaotic. I think I got this energy for Leo as well. Things feel a little bit chaotic, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. A lot of people shirk back when they see the tower, but this is absolutely an energy that many times we can welcome because something good is going to come out of this. For me, that always says that spirit has his hand in the plot and bringing things to pass. Sometimes these are things that we've procrastinated about or things that we have just completely ignored. There has been no intention or no type of desire to address. And so the spirit many times will come in and cause things to happen because we would never do it, right? So spiritually, as we look at the energy that will be influenced and intensified as we move forward here from this blood moon, there's going to be some change coming in. But understand, as difficult as it seems and as hard as it feels, this is paving the way for the new beginning, right? Towards these new commitments. There's some work that you're about to be putting in with this Eight of Pentacles. For some of you, this could even be work that you've already put in that has prepared you for this level of commitment. I feel like there is the energy of not being afraid to do hard things. And so this is the energy that will be intensified for you during this time. And I feel like you are really moving into this space where you're going to be really intent and focused on your goals or even bringing goals into play. If you have been a little bit scattered lately, like maybe over the last couple of months or even the last couple of years, there's something about you getting focused. Something happens here that kind of snaps on a different light bulb, right? Or a different energy. It's almost like you're stepping into a different energy that's going to cause you to become super focused on what it is that you desire. For some of you, you may not have known what it is that you desire. Well, it's going to come clear so that you will actually know what it is that you're aiming towards. Yeah. And I feel like this has come or will come through a little bit of conflict. Conflict is part of this process here with the Queen of Cups followed by the Five of Swords. There may be someone here that will, in fact, present. I don't know who this is. This feels like a mother figure or someone like in that energy. It could be you too, but there's some conflict. The energy is conflictual. I don't know if there's going to be some compromise, possibly. Or there may be some type of conflict between ideas of the direction you're moving in. There's something about the way that you're thinking that may be challenged, which isn't always bad, right? We always need people that have more experience and people that will come in and challenge us to sometimes when we're not living up to our potential, or maybe we're trying to take a shortcut, right? Because the magician is very, what's the word? The magician can be quite nifty with what they come up with, right? The magician has the ability, if it is desired, to shortcut because of the craftiness that's carried within this energy. But there's something about the way that you're thinking that's going to be challenged by someone. I feel like there may be times where you feel like, well, I don't have to do all of that, right? I could just do this little bit and then just worry about that later. You may have someone else coming in saying, well, yeah, no, it actually needs to be done like this, even though it's going to take a longer time, right? This is just an example, right? There could be someone that is a part of this process that will probably provide some type of structure with what it is that you are learning and thinking and communicating, moving into this energy. There's a lot of things happening here with you, Libra. I feel like your relationships are going to be changing for some of you. There's going to be definitely some endings to connections, possibly some beginning to connections as well. This death followed by the Two of Wands possibly says that there's going to be some, not just connections, but with just things in general. There's going to be some endings, and then you're going to have to make a choice on which way you'll be going forward. I almost feel like there will be doors that are shut. And I say doors shutting, I see that. I see doors being shut, kind of like in your face, but not to feel like it's rude. This is actually spirit, like we were talking about the tower, closing that off so that you will move forward, right? This energy, this intensified energy right now will be, remember, this is a time of ending parts of the journey and actually starting new. So this is definitely something that you possibly are very connected to, things that you will be heavily connected with, because it's kind of feeling emotional. And so this may be something that may present a challenge, depending on if you're an emotional person or if you just kind of move on without any issues. But there's going to be some endings coming in here, causing you to move forward and make decisions on how you want to move forward. These endings may, in fact, catch you at a time where you have several different options to choose from. And so, but I'm getting the energy of having to cut off things or having things just end. And this may be things that if you had it your way, right, it would not be this way. This could be you also having to get a little creative with your solutions and your choices. And really, this is going to work a muscle for you. Whatever this challenge is that's coming in emotionally, there's some level of this where you're going to have to depend on yourself and find out like what it is that you want in this. What do you believe you deserve in this? And so there's going to be a little bit of work that you're doing to around self-image here as well. What do you believe, right? Your worth. What are you willing to go after? The Two of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, the energy of choice is coming out again. Possibly you're going to take action to really, decide about something that I feel like is good for you. You're going to choose and move towards something that's good for you. The Two of Cups is whether we're talking about relationships or a job, some situation, whatever it is, the Two of Cups says that it's going to be good. This is almost like a soul level connection that's balanced. It's one that aligns with you. It's one that's healthy. It adds on to you. The Two of Cups is a really good energy, one that you will share in this reciprocated energy. Okay. So whether it's a job, it's going to be a good job that gives back to you and pays you what you feel like you're worth. It could be a relationship. It's one that's reciprocal and actually pours into you as you pour into them. You guys actually see things in a similar way. They understand you. You understand them. The worth is there, for a good connection. This is starting something new, learning something new. Whatever this is going to usher you into this energy of getting to know yourself more and choosing yourself and knowing how to choose what's good for you. I don't know if it's been an issue with you putting others first or choosing others over yourself, but this is almost like working through that energy, this commitment to the process of growth and of deepening, right? Your ability to really work towards what it is that you see for yourself. Okay. Commitment is what this is about for you, Libra. And I feel like a heavy part of it is going to be you committing partly to yourself. Okay. Beautiful energy. I love this for you. And so that's what I'm seeing for you, Libra. Thank you for stopping by. Let me know how it resonates. Until next time, take care and like, share, comment. This is what the blood moon is bringing in for you. Until next time, take care of yourself, Libra. All right. Scorpio. Hi, Scorpio. Welcome. I hope you are enjoying this energy, my Scorpio fans. For some of you, even basking in the moon. So let's take a look and see what opportunities are coming up for you during this blood moon. This is really a time of change, transformation, introspection, growth. You may need to just stop and just woosah. Just stop and just woosah would be good. Okay. Like, share, comment, Scorpio. Welcome today to Blood Moon Oracle. I hope you guys are well. Let's see. For Scorpio, what are the energies that will be intensified, providing opportunities during this blood moon for Scorpio? All right, I'll take it. Transformation. Yeah. Transformation. I almost feel like this is giving me the energy like someone is already in transformation, even as we head into this time where those energies are going to be intensified and that energy is going to be encouraged. I feel like someone is already in transformation as this energy is transitioning here. The picture here is the 33, first of all. You could be a master number, 33. And it is really a picture of the transformation that it's almost like deep in transformation. Yeah. Let's see. For Scorpio. So the transformation is being an energy of partly release, letting go our preconceived notion of what things should look like, even of who we are. There's something about that here, because transformation is all about becoming. It's all about becoming. And part of that process is being able to release old aspects of who we used to be. The butterfly could never really arrive fully able to fly if they wanted to hold on to the old body of the caterpillar, right? There's parts of our old self that needs to be released and let go of, in exchange for who we are becoming. And I can't help but think of how painful that process is of having your body completely liquefied and then rebirthed again into a new form. That's literally what happens in the cocoon. I think I watched like National Geographic. There was something I was watching, and that process requires a complete breakdown of the old body and the rebuilding of the new. Right? Amazing. That speaks about how amazing our Creator is. But it's painful, I'm sure. If the butterfly could talk, if the caterpillar could talk, they would probably tell us, like, it's horrible. Like, I would not want to. It's a process they probably don't have a choice about, but if they had a choice, they probably would choose not to. They would probably just choose to stay as the caterpillar, I'm sure. But this process is probably very painful in many ways. Part of the psychological pain is not knowing, as you're doing the transformation or you're in the middle of it, there's the pain, the psychological pain of not knowing what the future brings. And also the part of feeling, restricted in some type of way, confined, confused, in the dark, all those things are part of the process. But still, there's also this courage of doing it because this is part of what is required for evolution. Okay. And we always glorify the butterfly, but why don't we glorify the caterpillar? That's part of, what allowed the butterfly to exist, right? But we always look at the end result. When we look at people and they are having their best moment, right? Living their life like it's golden, but we don't know what they have to go through to get there. Right? We don't know that. We don't have the slightest clue unless they share it. But it looks so glorious and beautiful on the end result side of things. But to get there, they may have literally had to pass through Hades to get there. You don't know. But it looks so beautiful, And some would say the deeper or the further down they have to go, the more beautiful they come up, when they are transformed, the more beautiful it looks. But look what all it took to get there. And so we don't get to see that part of the process. Mm-hmm. And so there's something here about transformation that's ushering in. You could be in the middle of a transformative experience. This could be opening up that opportunity for some. Okay, there's something here about the nature of this energy that's coming in during this time for you. It's around transformation, which is vital, but at the same time, it's miraculous. when you come through this, as difficult as it may get on the way there, or as it has been thus far, it's going to be such a beautiful, miraculous result that comes from this if you're allowed to experience it and if you submit to the process. Yeah. You'll be able to look back at this process and even be appreciative for it. There's going to be something that you remember about this. And this number 33, I think 33 is all about 33 is compassion, deep compassion. That may be what's being cultivated through this experience. I think 33 is deep compassion, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know why I want to say teaching, but I believe it's deep compassion. Yeah. This is going to be difficult. There may be times, even now, you may find yourself having to throw pep rallies just to keep yourself encouraged. Like, Spirit is stressing this process, the difficulty of it. And so if you've been already experiencing this, or maybe you're about to head in, there's something about this that's going to open up. That's going to be an opportunity for you, for your growth, for your transformation, for change. Remember to have compassion on yourself. It's difficult, right? Remember that we are only human. Nobody's perfect. There's something about that Spirit is bringing up here with this transformation. Along with this is mischief as well. This may be a time too. Part of that process could be you dealing with just irritating things. You might find yourself like being irritated by just little things, or people like picking and nagging at you. That's what this reminds me of, mischief. But there's something about this that aligns with this transformative energy. It aligns with this, the nature of this change. Maybe through this change, you will become, and I don't know why I'm hearing, there's a word that we use, unf-withable, if you get what I'm saying. Unf-withable. I can't say the word, the F word, but when this is all done, you're going to end up being unf-withable, right? There's something about that that's coming out here. But this is teaching you patience. It's teaching you even compassion, right? Because there's a level of compassion that's coming through here with this master number 33. It depends on how we look at things, right? Even when we look at the birds that's actually picking at the cat just because they can, sometimes we have to realize people have issues, right? Sometimes, and those issues have nothing to do with you. Sometimes people are just working out their own, and I'm going to say soul salvation. They just working out their own stuff, and you just happen to be in the vicinity. You know, the cat just happened to be there chilling. They don't have no reason to pick on this cat. This cat looked like he was enjoying a nice little sunny afternoon out. They're coming along to nitpick. Has nothing to do with the cat. Sometimes we have to look at it like that. Like, sometimes people are lacking direction. Sometimes they are looking for attention. Sometimes they're just bored, you know, whatever the reason. It's clear that it has nothing to do with the cat. But one thing's for sure, that day, the cat is going to have a little bit more of that energy to teach him what patience is. When he walks away that day, he'll have a little bit more experience under his belt on how to be patient, right? Because if he wanted to, it's a cat. He could pounce all over those birds. But he's looking at them like, are you crazy? There's something here about not only having compassion on yourself, but having compassion on other people. And looking at it from a different perspective. There's something about this process of being irritated and feeling like people are just, this may be a phase that you go through that's going to play as a part of this transformation, this change, this growth that you're going through. I don't know, but for whoever this is relating to, you'll know what that means, okay? Let's see. I'm just pulling out some tarot here just to get some more energy for you, Scorpio. And of course, I always have to drop some cards, right? The reading wouldn't be complete if I didn't drop some cards. Let's see. All right, so as I look, I have the Sun coming out here, the Justice, the Emperor, and the Lovers. Leo, Libra, Taurus, and Gemini energy. Spiritually, this is going to be a time with the Sun. It does feel enjoyable. You're going to enjoy this energy or move towards this energy of enjoying things spiritually. If you have been feeling like you've been in a difficult place or a dark spot, that's going to change quickly with the Sun followed by the Eight of Swords. This energy of getting back to enjoying yourself and enjoying life and all of the things that you have at your disposal. If for some reason you have been in a different energy other than this, I feel like you'll be coming back to this energy very quickly. Or when you have moments where you feel like you're in despair, you get back to that really quickly. There's something very, what is the word I want to use? How you bounce back real quick. Something very springy. You bounce back really quick, Scorpio, right? When you find yourself in spaces, difficult spaces, you just kind of have this bounce back, right? That's what it feels like. And so if you do, and you probably will with this transformation energy coming in, there's going to be moments of deep feeling, of deep introspection. Transformation, again, as I said, is not fun. It's not. And I'm hearing, even energies around dark night of the soul. Like I've heard we have many of those times where we go through these very deep contemplative moments where things become very, our awareness is peaked and things become just very apparent to us. The veil is thinned, very thin. You see everything. You feel everything. You're aware to everything, right? And that can be straining on your mental health, right? To see and hear and just be aware of everything, that is draining very quickly. And so there's some part of you being able to bounce back really, though, spiritually. You may have a routine or something that you do to keep you on the up and up. I feel mentally you're in this space during this time too, where with the justice here, there's a preoccupation, I feel like, with making sure that you put a lot of thinking and a lot of awareness around how you're doing things. The justice is actually pretty balanced and it is concerned with doing things right. There's a lot of energy that you'll be putting into making sure that you are doing things right. The justice also brings in energy about making things right. There could be situations that'll come up where you'll be learning about balancing, energy or balancing the scales in some type of way. You may be learning how to do that for yourself, or you may be learning how to do that for others. There's something about that here. Taking careful steps to do something correctly. And that may involve someone offering you something to balance something out, or vice versa. There's an offer coming in. Maybe you're thinking about this during this time. This will be the energy that you'll be thinking about. Emotionally, you feel solid as a rock. This Emperor coming out, clarified by the Knight of Cups, this is a really good place. I don't think you have a lot to worry about through this transformation. It feels like you are really stable and solid. You're in a really good place. This can only serve to take you higher. I feel like, Scorpio. This is your transition to your ascension, right? It feels like that kind of energy for you. It really doesn't feel like you're going to struggle with this. And that may be because maybe you've gone through this already several times and you've mastered it in some type of way. You've gained a level of mastery here because the Emperor is not really an emotional energy. The Emperor is more concerned about making sure everything is in order, making sure everyone is taken care of. It's very practical energy. With the Nine of Cups, right? Not lacking anything. Emotionally, you're like a brick house. Very balanced, taken care of. This is beautiful energy. I almost feel like you may enjoy this, right? Let's see. Yeah, this is really good energy. I like this energy. The last pair is the Lovers, followed by the Three of Cups. This is a time of good communication. Either you're going to connect with a soulmate, meet a soulmate within your social group, or there's going to be lots of balance and lots of good energy cultivated, good balance within your soul group. That's what it feels like. You have a close-knit group that you work with. For some of you, you'll be working towards, there's something that you have in mind, some vision that you have in mind for those that are close to you, for those around you. And you'll be taking certain steps, probably putting things together that's going to create an even better experience. That's what this feels like to me with this Three of Cups. Three of Cups is very celebratory energy. It's a good time. It's a very good dynamic between people, between energies. This is people that understand you, you understand them. There's a good support between you. And the Lovers is this sense of balance, a good reciprocation. A good connection. And so whatever this is, it feels like you're going to have really good connections, but there's something that you want to do or something that you want to create. And it almost feels like some type of environment that you have in mind, because the Lovers feels environmental for me. Creating safe space, a certain environment where things will be really balanced. And so there's something about that that's coming up here that you may be taking some kind of action on. That may be something that comes out of this time of transformation. Even a higher level of vision, right? And how things will actually look at some point in time down along the way. But this feels like a lot of good energy that you'll be moving through. Even though transformation does not sound like fun, it feels like it's going to be a piece of cake in many ways, or you have ways of actually navigating these energies. Okay. That's what I feel here. That's coming out. This feels really good. Thank you so much. Scorpio, for stopping by. It's always a pleasure to read for you. Yeah. Get ready for the other side, right? The self on the other side, right? Get ready to release some old things too that you no longer need. This is definitely, it don't get any plainer than that. This is a time of transformation that's coming up for you. It's an opportunity for you to embark on that kind of energy. And being that it's during this time, that energy is heightened and it's intensified. And so, yeah, I feel like the product of the energy and the working with that is going to be maximized too. So who knows what could come out of this, right? We talk about caterpillars turning into butterflies, right? You may have a caterpillar turn into something like more than a butterfly. You know, this is coming out with something even more extravagant, more useful, more potent, right? So whatever that is, you know, take advantage of the energies, okay? That's for you, Scorpio. Like, share, comment. Thank you. And it's always good to read for you and connect with your energy. Until our next reading, take care of yourself, okay? Sagittarius. Sagittarius is next. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. I don't know why I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. We have Sagittarius, and then I know we have Capricorn, and then we have Pisces. Okay, yeah. So Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Okay. Welcome, Saggy. Welcome to Blood Moon Oracle. It's always a pleasure to read for you. Today we're delving into what opportunities are arriving around this blood moon, right? The blood moon is a time that holds significance with many cultures. They see it as a great omen, one where change comes and things are transformed. It's a time of deep introspection and personal growth that's available to us. It is also a time where many things are ending. It's a time of significant endings and beautiful beginnings that lead to some level of growth, right? And so we're going to take a look and see how these energies will play out for you, what opportunities will be available for you. Let's take a look here. For Sagittarius, like, share, comment. Welcome, Saggy. Thanks for stopping by. If you have a chance to get out there and see that blood moon, if you're in this part of the world, Northern California, let me know if you have a chance to see it, okay? It's not something that happens often, but it happens often enough for us to know what it is and, consider it. It's considered to be a phenomenon. So let's take a look and see what energy is coming out for you, Saggy. I have Realm of the Fae. Realm of the Fae. Now, I don't know if many of you know what that is. Realm of the Fae talks about the magic that lies in nature. And when we talk about the Fae, we're talking about parts of nature that actually are seen in humanistic ways. Like you'll see fairies, right? That look like, small little humans. Like, and then there'll be plants that have some type of humanistic feature. Trees that, a good example would be, what was the name of that movie where they had people who connected with the trees, like they would connect their tail with the trees, and it was blue. It was like blue people, and they were like giants compared to humans, but they had this connection with nature, and they rode like some kind of dragon or something like that. But you had to connect with the dragon in order to be able to own the dragon, right? There's some energy like that. Now, when we bring it down to our terms, this could be a time where you're being called, or there could be communication coming in around the energy of how you connect with nature. You may be being called out to nature during this time. There may be something in nature for you. This could talk about connecting with herbs, right? This may be a call to connect with herbs. This may be a call to connect with crystals. Crystals hold a connection as well. It's part of the earth, right? And when we really think of it, so are we. And even though we don't see a crystal as living, some of us see it as a rock. But what you don't know is when you begin to see everything as one, that means you're looking at everything as energy. And there is a connection when everything comes together. So if you were to hold a crystal in your hand and you look at it as energy, there is a reaction to the connection. When you take off your shoes and you go walk barefooted in the grass, there is a reaction that your body has to the grass, right? So there's some call to nature here. There may be something waiting for you when you connect. However you may be being called, there's something about connecting to nature here. What else for Sagittarius? This can be as simple as going out into nature, making a trip out into nature to take a moment away from everything, to stop and to allow yourself the silence to connect. and to see things. There's something here about seeing things from a whole new perspective. Sometimes we get so overloaded with routine and technology and even, our home, can sometimes overload us where we need to get out into the air. We need to get out into another form of environment that's going to refresh us and help us to see things in a different way. That's what this feels like for you. Your transformation and your change, your introspection is out in nature. And it's almost like there's going to be a sense of wonder or magic. There's something waiting for you to come and connect. Somebody may need to go hug a tree. All right. And so we have the Hierophant coming out first and foremost. There's something about you entering into a phase of learning here. Spiritually, though, this is from a spiritual perspective. The Hierophant comes out. There's some change happening for you in regards to some aspect of learning. I feel like you're going to be adding some type of new regimen here. This is ushering you into a time or a space where your practical spirituality is going to be changing. Let's see. For someone, your response is to let me see. I almost feel like to master something. It's not enough just to learn it. Like you have to master it. Because there's something about needing to arrive at a level of balance between what it is that you know and being able to apply it practically, right? It's not enough just to know, especially when it comes to your spiritual existence and your spiritual experience. There's something about you changing the way that you approach what you believe in, not just knowing, but there's some practical application to this that's needed for balance here. And so you may be actually ending up learning something, connecting with someone. The Hierophant does talk about some type of mentorship around spirituality, or it could be religion too. It could be some type of learning environment or learning institution. But whatever it is, it's going to help you. and teach you about balance in some type of way and mastery of what you have. The Hermit comes out. So you are in an energy of seeking and, looking for something. You're looking and searching for something. And this feels like something that you feel like you need before even, moving forward on your journey. There's an energy coming in through this red moon for you, through the blood moon, that's going to create some level of hunger or desire for wisdom. It's not necessarily just knowledge. I feel like this is wisdom. Now, the difference between knowledge and wisdom is knowledge is just information. Knowledge is just information. Wisdom is the ability to apply that. Wisdom is being able to live life skillfully with the knowledge that you have, right? That's the difference. And it feels like there's something about how you're learning and you're open to learning and how you're communicating and thinking during this time that maybe amplified into not just wanting to know, but it's going to expand in some type of way. Your wisdom will be expanded. You'll be moving forward in the energy of wisdom, right? And how you think and how you actually live. It's like you're not satisfied with just knowing. Like you have to be able to apply it, right? There's something about that here too. Because there's something about wanting to do something specific that that comes up here. And you're going to do it, right? It feels like you're unstoppable with this. You may even be very inspired, right? To learn as you go. Like you don't have to know it all. You're learning as you're going. That's how much you want to do this. But there's something opening up now where you understand the importance of having the wisdom with what you're doing. You won't be just satisfied with just knowing, like you need to have the backing of, the application and the practicality behind that. This is bringing in an energy that is leading you to a new way where you're experiencing life. I don't feel like you are going to be as, how can I put this? I don't feel like you're going to be as accessible emotionally. I don't feel like you're going to be as open emotionally. This feels like entering into a place where you are, and it almost feels like this may not be what has been. It feels like you're like shifting into a new direction. And this direction you're heading in, my allergies, this direction you're heading in is one where you are emotionally intelligent, or you're aiming to be emotionally intelligent. When I see this Fool and this Seven of Wands, there's some heightened level. First of all, the Fool says that this is a different way, a different direction. It's something new, right? the complete opposite of something that you've done or you're used to or where you was a minute ago. You've completely turned in a totally opposite direction. And the direction you turned in is a place of being spiritually aware. Sevens are spiritual cards. Wands is action. And so taking action on what you're aware of, there's some spiritual awareness, some emotional intelligence I feel like I'm feeling here. I don't know if you just was really open emotionally in some parts. It feels like you're a little bit more guarded, emotionally. So there's something about your awareness that's heightened, that's going to cause you to not be as accessible as you have been. And awareness will do that to you. When you start seeing like things like intention, right? You start seeing intention, it changes the way that you relate and deal with people. You can't help but deal with it, right? I think it was Dick Gregory that said, once you put on the glasses, ain't no taking them off. That's so true. And you see something and you move on it now. And it's changed how you exist and how you interact. And even in your relationships, there's some difference here with the Fool. There's a new way that you relate. And it has everything to do with you being aware. You relate out of that awareness. You may have been someone that used to wear your heart on your sleeve. You may have been somebody that used to give people the benefit of the doubt. I don't think that is exactly where you are now. And if you are, this energy is bringing in something different. There's growth, right? Emotionally. Because the Seven of Wands is also standing in a place of triumph as well, overcoming something and making it to a place that you feel proud of. And now that you have gotten there with the Seven of Wands, there is the need to guard where you are, right? Part of guarding is to ward off, things that will possibly come and pose a threat. And so when you change in a certain way, sometimes there's always still that connection with the old energies that are very familiar. And I'm not necessarily talking about people. I'm talking about just energy. If you are addicted to anything, like me, I'm addicted to sugar, right? I love sugar, cupcakes and, all kinds of stuff. But that's something that my body will never forget, right? I can go 3-4 years without sugar. And the moment I eat a cupcake, it's like, oh my gosh, where have you been? How could you do this to me and deprive me of this for all this time? Yay. And then it's like more and more. Your body immediately, it's the same for alcohol. It's the same for drugs. Whatever that addiction is, your body will never forget that. And it'll never stop craving. You just silence the craving, but it's still there, waiting to be, satiated. Well, in that same way, it's the truth in the spirit as well. And so when we separate from energy, there's still that remembrance of that. Many times there's still those cords that are connected that will still try to come, back and reconnect to that old energy that used to be you. And so, especially the energies that you realize may not have been the very best for you, for your self-esteem, for your um, overall, for your good. We'll just say that, you know. And so there's a level of boundary that you have to learn. I feel like that's kind of where you are. That's the growth that's being introduced during this time. Maybe you're already there, and it's all about learning how to maintain that position here in this energy. There's something about that coming in around your emotional intelligence. And then lastly, we have another seven of pentacles and the 5 of wands. So I do feel like the 7 of pentacles says that you will be taking action on certain investments. Investments, like it could be money. Pentacles is money, but this is more along the lines of your health. Like you are invested in your well-being. That's what this is saying. That's the energy that I'm feeling, like you being invested in your well-being, especially your mental health. The 5 of wands is all about this scattered energy, just being here and there and everywhere. And but there's some investment that you're making towards your mental health, and you'll be taking assertive action when it comes to that. And there's some awareness that could be arising during this time around that, however that plays out for you, Saggy. There's some awareness that could be arising around that. And as we all know, awareness is key, right? If you don't see a problem, then ain't no need to fix it. But when you see it, then it's like, oh, okay, that's what's happening. That's how I end up way over there when I had actually set my goal. There's something about that. There's going to be things that you connect to through these opportunities that the awareness being open to you is going to present. And it may just be different ways that you'll address certain things that are coming up during this time. Yeah. Overall, I feel like you'll definitely put energy towards your wellness, however that plays out. It could be physical, it could be mental, and definitely spiritual. I got that. There's going to be some aggressive investments towards yourself. I get that with the 5 of wands. That's why I say aggressive. You see this picture? Doesn't that look aggressive for you? It does for me. Every one of these birds are doing their own thing, and it looks like they clashing into each other. I don't know if they're trying to get somewhere in a rush. Maybe they're trying to see who can get the stick to the destination fast. There's a little bit of competition here. It's aggressive. You'll be taking aggressive action towards your personal well-being, whatever form, shape, way that comes through, okay? So that's what I have for you, Saggy. I didn't really see any other energies. I mean, there could be something about mentoring here with spirituality. I did see that come out. But overall, I feel like you are heading into this energy of self-reflection that's going to be very beneficial for you. You may be placed in a position to see things from a whole different viewpoint too. Something about nature being very important in this process. So make sure you get out and connect with nature in some kind of way, even if it's herbs or tea, or, going to do like things for yourself, like salt baths. But there's something about connecting specifically for you with nature. This is about nature, okay? That's for you, Savvy. The opportunities being presented to you during this time, opportunities of growth, okay? So hit the like button, like, share, comment, let me know how it resonates, and I will see you next time, Sagittarius. Bye. All right, who do we have next? We have Capricorn. Hi, Cap. Welcome to Blood Moon Oracle. Thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure you like, share, comment. Let me know how it resonates. Let's see what opportunities will be arising for you during the blood moon. This is a time of intensified energy, and these energies will be intensified and ushering in opportunities for change, transformation, growth, even moments of deep introspection. You may find things that are ending. You may find beautiful opportunities to begin things. There's going to be just like a lot of change happening, okay, if you're open to it. I'm sure there's going to be those that are defiant to the change. And I'm seeing somebody kicking and screaming, being drugged. Listen, don't let that be you. Just say, okay, whatever is best, let me just do it, honey. But let's see what comes in for you, okay? Change is good. It is an indication that we are still alive and evolving. And so let's see what comes in. What opportunities come up for Capricorn? Thank you for stopping by, Cap. What opportunities for Capricorn? All right, as I was saying, we have the end coming out for you. The end. All right, so we have the end and we have abundance. I like that combination. I do. I can't lie. Whenever there's abundance involved, I like that. All right. And so this could talk about a completion, the end. Very interesting. What is it talking about? It could talk about a completion or a closing out of something. It's very dark. This card is dark. It could be like to a certain problem you've been dealing with, some type of connection, or even the time of life that you're in right now. There's a close or a completion to something. This is not talking about a death, right? So you're okay. This is just talking about a death to a situation of some kind. It's just being put down. I guess in some cases it could talk about like a loved one that may have passed or will pass here. But I feel like for the most part, This is you really saying goodbye and coming to grips with a certain way that you have been living or something you've been dealing with in life. This is saying bye to that part of life that you were living prior to entering into this season. Death is a sure part of life. It's one of the most sacred parts of life that we can experience, because with death comes a birth, a new beginning, new life, right? And so it's almost like a sacred concept that we're talking about here that many cultures see as very special, right? Yeah. And so there's some change that's coming in that Spirit wants you to make room for and welcome in. And especially if you are someone that's looking to gain a level of wisdom here, like welcome this in. Especially if it's something that's difficult to release or let go of, that may cause a little bit of grief, right? This is for some of you having a new season on the other side of that. If this is something that has been difficult and you've been like grinding your teeth going through this, this is welcoming in your time of renewal and your time of relief with whatever that was that you were dealing with. So it could be a mixture of both. Either you're like grieving the loss of something, or you could be welcoming in this new beginning as you say goodbye to some unfortunate situation that you were dealing with. But either way, there's some deeper level of understanding coming in here. There's some deeper level of clarity that will come with this new birth. And no matter, for those of you that have felt or will feel a little bit of discomfort or pain through this, it's okay. Like, don't try to ward off those feelings. Allow yourself to process it, because it's part of this transition that's happening. You can bear it, right? There's something about being created to experience this, and it's something that you'll need to be brave for. And this may, in fact, be something that will usher you into something that you have not even imagined. Because the other card was abundance, right? More than enough. Looking up one day and realizing, wow, like I have so much. I'm going to have to give some of this away. I have more than I can hold on to. I have more than I can store. Can you imagine being in that level of abundance? But this is what's coming out for you, Capricorn. So this moment where there's something that's ending, if you are resonating with this, is only for a moment. It's 1 second in the total scheme of things for you. And it's ushering you to something better. Yeah. And there's some truths that's coming in around this too. Around time. But let's get some the end. So what is this that's coming in for you? The nature of this change is something that's ending. But at the same time, there's an abundance that's beginning. And abundance is number one. That's a beginning. Yeah. And for someone, I'm hearing the abundance has always been yours, but you couldn't enter into it until you actually exited. You couldn't enter the abundance until you exited. Sometimes we can't enter into our fortune because there's something that we are holding on to, or something still around us that would be a risk, or there's something that doesn't align. And it's almost like, you know how you have children, or you have a family member, maybe a niece or a nephew, and you want to give them money, but you can't because they're around their friends, and their friends, that they're like the nicest one in the group, and they give all their stuff away. Right? I was that child. They give all their stuff away. So as soon as you give them something, they're like going to share it. Right? And they have the kind of friends that don't say, oh, no, thank you. That was for you. You just keep it. They have the type of friends that's like, gimme, gimme, gimme. Ooh, what we going to do with this? Right? We're going to take everything you got and go spin it up. Right? And so you want to give them something, but you can't because that the people that they're around is just going to take it. And so you wait and say, I'm going to wait till their friends go home, and then I'm going to give them this, because then I know that no one will take it. They'll just have it, and they'll be able to put it away, and they'll be able to utilize it the way that it was intended on themselves, or whatever way you gave it to them to utilize it. But you couldn't do it while they were still surrounded by this certain element, right? It feels like that. So sometimes, all right, let's see. Hello, Capricorn. My apologies. Last night, I just conked. Like, I came to a dead end, and I found like I had nothing left, and I didn't want to give you part of what would be quality, right? And so I just had to go ahead and cut it off and then come back this morning. And so my apologies. I don't want to give you like half of anything. I want to make sure that I'm fully here and able to give you like the quality that I have, that I want to present. And so, plus I feel like I'm coming down with something. And so my energy just is really sparse right now. Nevertheless, I am back this morning after a full night's rest to continue where I left off. So we were talking about you and being in the season where endings are going to be part of the energy that's available to you. But with the endings, it's going to be the opportunity to start things or to step into your abundance. Now, abundance, again, I'm sure I've described this or explained this already, but I will go back over it again because I have to tap back into the energy. Abundance can be described in many different ways. You may just look up one day and see that you have like not only everything that you need, but more than you need. More than you need. That could come through as material, financial, It could come through as emotional abundance, spiritual abundance, um, physical abundance, right? However that comes through, there's the realization um, through this energy here that's available that you step into. That's very abundant. There's the opportunity here. Um, and as I remember last night, Spirit was talking a lot about being in the right environment that's conducive for this abundance. So there was something about that that was really important last night before I just kind of conked. But that's what we were talking about. Now, when we look at your tarot cards, we have the Temperance that was clarified by the Seven of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. So this is going to bring in, I feel like you'll be working at it, pouring energy and effort into the energies, the opportunities that come out for you. There's a level of extensive investment here, and possibly even dealing with the feeling of having to try again and again, or get up again and again. This may be something that you've already been dealing with too. Just pouring a lot of effort into staying balanced, trying to figure out, solutions for things spiritually. I don't feel like you have necessarily a typical spiritual path. There's something different about your spiritual path that shows up here in a way that it's kind of been tedious. That's the energy I'm getting. There's something about your spiritual path that's been tedious. You've worked really hard. You haven't, given up. You've tried many different possible approaches. This gives me the feel of just putting a lot of work and time and effort. And this particular energy coming forward during this time may in fact talk about that ending to feeling like this, and stepping into some form of abundance when it comes to your spirituality. And you've put in the work. That's what I feel like this energy feels very elaborate. Like there's nothing simple about it. It has been complicated when it comes to spirituality for you. However that comes across, however that looks for you. For some people that means having a certain practice. For some people that could mean having a certain method to your spirituality. For lack of better terms, it could be religion. It doesn't have to be. It could be some other form of application that allows you to apply a practice to your life, right? It's been difficult, whatever form that takes. It's been difficult. You've endured a lot. And I really feel like this is a time where the energy is available to step into this abundance. There could be many different things about that that's going to now transition over into something that feels lighter. I also have the Five of Wands followed by the Ten of Wands. Again, when we look at how you are handling things right now, the energy could possibly be overexcitement. That's what I get with the Five of Wands, wanting to do many different things, not sure where to start, or not really having a not really having a priority, like tization of these things. It almost feels like you could be all over the place, possibly, maybe through excitement, um, of trying to carry all of this abundance and all of these things that are being born right now. It feels like mentally you could be maybe even stretched thin because of it. I just see all of these birds like trying to do their thing. This represents your thoughts. You know, you have all these things on your plate right now, but it's good things. It's good things, right? And trying to do them all at once, or wanting to do them all at once. But possibly what would be beneficial is to prioritize, or to make a list of the things that you want to do in order. That way you don't find yourself like spread thin or just feeling scattered mentally. There's something about that, the thinking, when it comes to what you want to do or get done, that feels very scattered and stretched thin, almost like you're trying to do everything. You're multitasking and it's spreading you really thin. And it could also be minimizing potential as well. Because as you know, there's a saying that says the jack of all trades is the master of none. What that means is you can only master and focus intently on one thing at a time. If you're actually concentrating on more than one thing, it's very unlikely that you'll master it, because it takes so much energy to master, right? It may be possible to only do that for one thing at a time. And so this energy, though it feels like it's good, there may be a need to prioritize what you want to do or what you need to do during this time. The energy may, in fact, end up being very intense and overwhelming for you. That can happen with good things. You can have everything happening at the same time, right? And thinking that you have to entertain everything that's opening up to you at the same time. Well, that may not necessarily be true. You can prioritize and handle them in order that's of importance to you. That's just what I'm feeling. A little bit of scattered energy, overwhelm when it comes to your mental process around this time. I have the Justice too. There is a concern about your connections that comes in during this time. And the concern is, I feel like, number one, the concern is about balance. And it's about bringing justice into your connections. Something about that here. Bringing justice in, meaning that there is a level of fairness in some type of way, where you are concerned about your connections. There's something about that that's coming up here, wanting to apply or maintain or ensure some kind of fairness within your connections around this time. This time, emotionally, I feel like you'll be very careful in how you approach and address things. Your feelings could be one where you want to make sure, I almost get like making sure people are being treated right, or there's a level of fairness that you are able to ensure in situations with the people around you. I don't know if you will be in the middle of some type of complication or dispute, and for some reason you'll be the one that's looked to solve it or to maintain the level of integrity, to make sure everyone is being heard, everyone is being treated fairly, and everyone is being respected. There's something about that there. You may be considered the one who, in many ways, is able to maintain this level of integrity and unbiased in the situation. It has something to do with the close-knit group. And it's something emotional. So that tells me that it's going to be something important, maybe even some type of disagreement that arises that actually pulls you in to be like a mediator of some kind. So this time is possibly going to bring up, I know it's going to be heavy emotionally, and depending on how people are able to maintain this energy, because the blood moon is going to bring in a very concentrated energy. So whatever you're feeling, it may be intensified, right? That may be the thing that's causing endings in relationships, because the energy feels very tense and heavy. We may, in fact, be interpreting it in a more exaggerated way. And so there's something here emotionally where you'll be, when it comes to your emotions now, this says that you'll be in a balanced space, and you'll be the one that's trusted to be able to offer a sense of guidance or wisdom when there is that tension between a group or someone close to you. They'll be looking to you for that sense of guidance and balance in the situation. Like maybe somebody will call you and say, am I unreasonable? This is what happened, yada, yada, yada. Is that so unreasonable? You'll be the one that they call and that they trust to give a balanced perspective on the situation. You will be in the spotlight in that way during this time. There's something about that, you being a trusted voice. Lastly, I have the High Priestess and the Page of Cups. For some of you, I feel like you have been hearing instruction, or you've been hearing something that is appealing to you. And you are going to actually, this may even be for the first time, trust what you're hearing and move on it, whatever that is. First of all, the High Priestess has this sense of connection, with that which is beyond her. So there is this communication, this connection that's happening. And then when you look at this card, see how the bird is like whispering? See how the fish is whispering to the bird, and the bird is bent down and he's like listening. The fish is actually whispering lots of amazing things that's keeping the bird's attention. But not only will you hear this, I feel like you're going to take action on it. And this may be something that happens for the very first time during this time. This voice, this instruction, this bit of communication may be louder, intensified during this time. Maybe your ability to hear and understand it is even clearer to the point that it allows you to confidently take action on it. Whatever it is that you're hearing for some of you during this time, yeah, it's going to be something that you step out and almost test it just to see if what you're hearing is true, if it's right. You're going to move on it. You're going to take action on what you're hearing. That may be around with the Page of Cups, which comes in as a very creative energy. That may be around you stepping out and doing something creative. It doesn't have to be, but it sounds a little bit like that. This may be around you stepping out and doing things a little bit different than what you're used to. There's some creative element about this. You stepping out, doing something different, or allowing yourself to be guided by this instruction that you'll be getting and following up on it. Yeah, there's some information that you've been entrusted with. This could even be someone in the physical that you have connections with. You're following up on that information that you're being given. There's something about that, being given or being whispered some information, and you will be following up and taking action on it. During this time, there is the feeling that maybe something that comes up in your mind very strongly that you need to take action, right? So that's what I'm getting for you, Capricorn. This is going to be a very abundant season that you're being led into right now. And so be excited. And if there be endings that bring in grief or that feel a little strenuous, just know that you're exchanging one thing for something better, right? These endings are actually leading you to your abundance, okay? That's what this is about. That's the energy that I'm getting for you during this blood moon. So like, share, comment. Let me know how it resonates for you. Thank you so much, Capricorn. I appreciate you. Until next time, take care of yourselves, okay? And enjoy this abundant energy, okay? All right, Aquarius. So welcome back, Aquarius. We're going to take a look. I hope you are doing well during the season of the blood moon. During this time of the blood moon, the energies are intensified, first and foremost. Secondly, that intensification is around change, transformation, introspection, and personal inner growth. It's really inward reflective. And so opportunities to experience those energies and possibly evolve is very likely during this time. And so we're going to take a look and see what energies will be available for you, okay? Thank you, Aquarius. I hope you are well. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you have not. Let me know how it resonates. Thank you for Aquarius. I hope you guys are well. For Aquarius. Let me know if you're enjoying the blood moon, if you caught it last night. I think it showed up for like about 4 or 5 hours last night. And you could actually see the blood moon if you are in the northern um, part of our hemisphere here in the United States. That's where it was prevalent. And so if you caught a glimpse, let me know. All right, so the first card that comes out for you is presence. And then the other oracle card that comes out for you is survival. Okay, presence and survival. First of all, with presence, before even looking to find out a little bit more, presence feels, it's a number 2, and it feels like the realization that you are not alone, that it's more than just you. It may not be you and another person, but it's more than just you. And it's the realization of that here, this energy I'm feeling. The energy presented during this blood moon, as we enter through this portal, right, is going to leave you more present and more connected, right? More present, more connected, and I think even more equipped, like you're going to be sharp and learn possibly even new strategies and tactics here. And I'll show you why I say that. So first we have presence. And if you look at this card, she's walking through a portal that is between two what looks like great towers. And the towers to me feel like almost like a level of analysis that's happening as she walks through. There's some influence on that area between the two spaces that feels analyzed, and like there's some zooming in on that space to clarify it. See how fuzzy everything on the outside looks, but that inner space is very clear. There's like a energy of analysis, a clear inspection. But there's the realization here that you are not alone. That will be evident during this time, this change, this transformation, this introspection, this energy that's communicating with you during this time. Before this blood moon energy, before the blood moon is actually fully move forward to the next phase of the moon, there's going to be a realization. This may be a good time to introspect, to stop, to take a deep breath, to feel your body and notice your surroundings and tune into your senses, to actually go within and have an experience. This may be a time that is either calling you to do that or that will be very beneficial. Also be aware of what your thoughts are. If they're worrying about the past or about the future, this is the time not to allow that to distract the moment of being right where you are, right here, right now, when you stop to do this. Because there's something about being present right now that's going to be beneficial for you. Whatever it is that you're dealing with right now, being present is going to give you the ability to transform that energy, to transform that moment forward into something that you need. That's going to be helpful, that's going to be beneficial, that's going to provide answers and solutions, and possibly even the application techniques. But there's something about relinquishing this moment, the fear of it or the worry around it, any distractions that may arise. To distract you from your power in this moment. Voices, chattering, right? Shut it down because it's not helpful. Especially if it's voices of criticism and blame. There is a time to listen to our voice, and as we'll see, the High Priestess does come out in your reading, but what is the voice saying? Sometimes we need to understand the difference and understand that sometimes the voice is acknowledging that maybe there is something missing, right? Maybe it doesn't know everything. And sometimes it's not right. There's an analysis that's needed for the information during this time for some of us. Coming into the present moment. There is an author, and I think his name is Deepak Chopra. Deepak Chopra. And someone else is coming to mind too. Tolle. Deepak Chopra and Tolle talk about this voice and noticing the voice. It's almost like having this experience of going within and noticing the voice in your head apart from your true, authentic self. It's two different things. Sometimes the voice is the voice of our critic, our self-critic. And I feel like this is the voice that is being talked about here. It may not necessarily be our higher voice, because our higher self is actually the part of us that is one with everything and connected to source. This voice that I'm talking about is the critic, shutting the critic down, right? Notice the difference. Shutting the critic down and claiming this moment through being present. It almost feels like claiming your power back. This time may bring up the opportunity to address any dissonance, right, that's happening within you. Maybe that'll be something that's coming up to be resolved. Dealing with the inner critic. Survival comes out too. And in dealing with the inner critic, this is also a 2. This is also learning how to be in that space where you might find yourself in a tough spot, but not losing your stuff, right? Not losing all sense of reason or the ability to think straight. not entering into fight or flight mode, but actually staying calm, staying level-headed so that you can navigate your best defense in that position, or navigate through your best strategy. One thing's for sure, when we find ourselves in a difficult spot or a dangerous spot, if we don't remain calm, the chances of us thinking ourselves through that difficulty is slim to none. You can't think straight when you're fearful. You can't think straight when you're, all in your head and you have all these scenarios popping up and, you're anxious, right? There's something about being cool, calm, and collected in the face of adversity, in the face of danger even, that's going to allow you to navigate that situation. There could possibly be situations where you are being tried and someone may notice you when you are stuck in a difficult situation and is just watching to see how you're going to react. They're watching you you might be even a form of entertainment, for somebody when they see you struggling in some type of way or stuck in some type of situation, right? But this is not a time to panic because you realize this. This is just, okay, it is what it is. Let me just block that out. There's nothing I could do about that. But what is my best course of action? Even if that means taking the path of least resistance, right? What is my best course of action in this situation? It's all about remaining all together so that you can implement that best course of action. I don't know who this is for. I don't know your life, but okay. Overall, I feel like this is a time where you will have the opportunity to enjoy, right? This feels like a good time that's being offered to you right now. And it's well deserved because it comes after these difficulties, after these challenges that come and test you. This may be like a testing of your faith, right? And you're like, well, what did I do to deserve this? Why am I going through this? But who knows why, right? Sometimes we go through just to get to the other side and say that we have gained that experience. Maybe we'll need that experience in the future sometime, so it was necessary to have that particular test. But on the other side of this, there is the sun, which is the happiest card in the deck. There is a reward for what you've gone through. Now, the other way that I'm seeing this is because of this energy that you're in, the sun, this happy-go-lucky, this just on about your way, skipping in the sun, not worried about anybody. That it sometimes attracts haters, That sometimes attracts situations that come in and want to alleviate that happiness. That's frustrating to some people. Some people just are miserable and don't like to see other people happy. That could be situations that arise, but whichever it is, I feel like this level of happiness right now is yours. And it may be something that you have to fight for spiritually. It may be something that you have to demand, right? Even if things do turn out to be like, oh man, like, how did I end up here? Spirit is saying, don't you stop. Don't you give up. You get back up and claim your happiness, okay? So there's some trial, some difficulty about this time that's going to come in and test you. It's going to test you. One of the things that we need to remember that is many times what we believe we're going through, many times it's just an illusion. It's how we're looking at it. It's all happening. It's all processing and outplaying and playing out in our mind first before it actually becomes a reality. And so it's all about how we're perceiving it. Many times we can ride through a difficult situation if we just keep our mind right. There's something about that here. But spiritually, I do see you being, tested, your faith, your beliefs, what it is that you hold on to. I know faith is sometimes considered a religious word. For some, that may make sense. For others, this could be a time of just testing. That's going to see if you actually believe what you say you believe. And passing this test will do nothing but just reconfirm and reinforce what you believe, Scorpio. For a minute there, I thought I was back on Capricorn. This could be a dealings with a Capricorn. I don't know how that relates, but Capricorn just, boom, it came up real strong in my mind. You could be dealing with a Capricorn in this situation. So I have the High Priestess followed by the Hangman. The High Priestess followed by the Hangman. There's something about needing to stop before you invest in projects or situations where you're trying to expand your operation or expand the way that you approach something. Before you invest in expansion, it's important to take the time to stop and think it all the way through. Allow your thought processes around this to be completely completed all the way through. There's something about this. And then also include a level of spiritual inquiry with this as well. There's something here about expanding, possibly learning new techniques or trying new things or thinking outside of the box when it comes to expanding. But there's something that needs to be thought through as well. For some, this could be that process that you have for expansion. It could be blowing up. You could have come across something that's actually going to be very effective. And you've worked and waited and thought this through already. And because you've put the time in and the necessary introspection and the necessary thoughts and even prayers, I'm hearing prayers too, like you've put the necessary energy and time and effort into this. And because you've done that, this could be around yourself. This could be around, some type of project that you're involved in, some level of endeavor or creativity. Because you've done the background work, it lends to expansion. Something is expanding with the Three of Wands. The way that the access that you have to is opening up here. And I almost feel like that access has always been there, but it's your approach to it. This is the type of access that you would consult about, right? This is the kind of access that you say, okay, this is what I need to do. So let me take a moment or let me construct an approach. So in that approach, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to meditate and set my intentions around it for the answers. I'm going to pray and ask for guidance, right? There's some approach to this that's led you to this expansion. You put in some type of spiritual work behind this, and it has opened up your understanding, your access mentally to what that is, that expansion. It may be some idea that came in and was like, oh, that's it. That's coming in during this time as well. That'll be open to you. But it's all about taking the time to be present. That's part of this equation. You're not doing this alone, right? That's the realization here. You're not alone. This is going to be a time where you will need to be courageous. There could be, situations that present some difficulty emotionally, that demand some level of growth emotionally, that challenge you in some type of way with the lion. Just know that whatever comes up, you're able to weather it, Aquarius. See how this bird is standing on the head of the lion? There's no fear there. There's actually a bit of trust and a bit of work that's been put in for this bird to stand comfortably on this lion. There's actually some level of rapport that's been built. So though the winds may roar, though the waves may crash, right? Understand that you have the power, right, to weather the storm. There's going to be some difficult decisions that will come out of this time for you. These decisions may have to do with you making difficult choices and being able to make choices that people are not going to be happy about. You having to make choices that put you in an uncomfortable position, maybe an unpopular position, because this takes some level of courage to do. And if it was nice and sweet, then there would be no need to step into your power. But this is going to be a difficult situation for you emotionally. I do feel like there's going to be a lot of testing, and that testing could come, from the desire to have you continue evolving. It could come from people around you. It could come from people around you. And you'll be placed in a position to have to do the hard thing. But you'll have the power to decide this. And that's going to place you in that difficult position of standing on the head of the lion. And I get some feeling like you've been through this before, right? If it's not this exact same situation, it's something similar. You've been through this before. So you know how to weather the storm. Not that you want to, but you know how. Yeah. This time is actually going through these spiritual aerobics. That's what it feels like, spiritual aerobics, like going through all these tests and this course, right? Is going to land you in a position, Aquarius, where you will actually make it through this. Like the actions that you take is going to land you in the Seven of Wands, which places you at the top of the mountain, possibly even ahead of others. It's going to place you in a position of being able to move on to the next part of your growth, of your experience here. This new level or this new place where you stand, where you will finally find yourself after coming through all of these tests, is going to land you in a position of having the opportunity or needing to up, your experience, your level of learning. You could find yourself wanting to engage with new things. And you will. You'll need to if you're going to keep growing. It's almost like as soon as you master one level and you're able to pass the test that comes with that level, now it's time to up it to something new. What else can I pull in to my experience to increase, right, my level of expertise or my level of mastery, to increase my experience, right? And so you could be taking or find yourself moving to the next level of learning something or experiencing something. It's time, because where you are, there's going to be like an ending of this part of your journey through these tests, and it's going to place you in a whole nother structure, right? It's going to place you up a notch, which means that you're going to have to start learning that new level or that new experience. There's some new experience that you'll step into through this. And it may be a whole different set of rules where you're stepping into. I get that sense. And I don't really feel like it's going, well, you know how they have that saying, new levels, new devils, right? When you step up, there's like the sense that there's a whole nother set of rules and expectations that you have to learn. That's what I'm getting. And you'll step up and you'll meet the requirements and you'll begin to learn there's something about that may be even exciting for you. The concept of, growing and learning new things. To stay ahead of the curve. I'm hearing that. You want to stay ahead of the curve, and you will. As long as you keep accepting the challenges and keep growing through them. Like, this bird is not just an ordinary bird. This bird is a bird that has done the impossible and have taken on challenges that others would run away from. This is not an ordinary bird. What bird do you know have the courage to stand on the head of a lion? That means that you are used to doing the hard thing. And because of it, that places you in places that others they're still working on getting to. They're still struggling to get there, right? There's different levels to this. But it says that you're not in the general status quo. There's something about this here. And as you move up, right? As you know, there's always the need to relearn. As you move up, there's still further evolution that needs to happen. And so this is about, first of all, you understanding or realizing that you're not alone. There's the realization here. and coming back to that realization possibly. It does feel like this might be a trying time. This might bring in tests just to see how much you've learned, how you're going to carry and handle yourself through situations. This might be like a final test before you actually move on to the next level. And it has everything to do with you being present. That's the key to this moment, these tests and trials, is being present. Okay? This definitely is bringing in the opportunity of introspection for you and growth. And I feel like change as well. There's something about your methods that will change during this process. And so that's what I have for you, Aquarius. Good luck, okay? Just know that when it's all over, you end up at the top. There's something about being willing to do what others have not been willing to do, or even taking risks that others have not been willing to take. That's going to land you in a different place, or maybe ahead of the curve is what I heard specifically. And so be willing to do the learning that others will bypass. Be willing to do the extra that others aren't willing to do. And you'll find yourself in places that others have yet to arrive. Okay? That's what I have for you. Thank you for stopping by. Blood Moon Oracle here. Until next time, take care of yourself, Aquarius. Last but not least, we have Pisces. Hello, Pisces. Welcome to Blood Moon Oracle. Like, share, comment. Today we're going to be taking a look at the energies coming in around this blood moon and the opportunities that are present through this energy. This energy is intensified and it's potent, right? This is the perfect energy to introspect and go within. This energy brings opportunities of growth, transformation, and it may in fact bring in endings, right, to certain parts of our journey and openings to other parts that will lend to personal growth, okay? But let's see specifically for you, Pisces, what opportunities will be coming in through this blood moon. Let's see. Hope you are well. Let's see what's coming in for Pisces. All right, choice. Choice. And it's almost like the Two of Wands. You see the two paths before him or her, or actually three paths. There's three paths. So there's a choice here. Definitely change coming in. And there's choice that is presented here during this blood moon. That's the energy that's coming up. Having to choose which way is forward. You may very well find yourself at a crossroads, Pisces, during this blood moon. It opens up the opportunity for change through choice, which is pretty nice because that says that you get to choose where you will end up. And then play comes out. So choice comes in as a number 5. It's a 23. 2 plus 3 is 5. And again, talking about you being at a crossroads. There are specific lessons and decisions that lie before you that you've been given the power to make. And if you're not sure right off the bat that you're in this position, this is a card that's coming up to let you know that this is a current situation or this will arise shortly. And the fact that what is happening is not completely outside of your power, right? Or your ability to instruct. And if you do realize the situation, maybe you don't realize how much power you have in the situation. Maybe there's been situations where you haven't really been empowered to kind of decide which way your life will go. Well, this is saying that you have the power, more power than you previously realized. There's something about realizing how much authority you have in this situation. And a crossroads means that you have to choose one. Yeah. This brings you to that moment in time where it's time. It's time. This transformation is all about crossing over into the next phase of your life and ending possibly happening as a new beginning is opening up. And it has everything to do with your choice. This also may point to the fact that there could be more to choose from than you realize. At first, when I looked at this card, I was like, there's 2 choices you're choosing from. But then I looked again and I was like, wait a minute, there's a third one in the middle. There may be more options than you realize. And so this is all about you educating yourself on how you will move forward. The energies coming in may in fact be closing doors, but we'll take a look and see what that energy is. It has something to do with you addressing your need to experience some kind of relief. Because this play it's a 9. So there's an end, I believe, possibly to having to feel like you have to be serious all the time, for one. Play invites in a little bit of leisure. Maybe it's time to take some time to actually take care of yourself or allow you to just kind of sit back, and that may in fact work towards you being able to make the right decision. If you're somebody that has not allowed yourself to enter into a period of rest or play, this may be helpful here. Now, to turn that around, if you're someone who has constantly been in this energy of play and not really taking things seriously, it would mean exactly the opposite. It's time to put away childish things, and it's time to actually get down to business and make some decisions. So however that resonates, I'll let you decide. But this boils down to making decisions concerning the next segment of your life. Possibly something that has been put off. Let's see, for Pisces, what other energy do we have here? For Pisces, what other energy do we have here? For Pisces, what other energy do we have here? Play is coming up too, because that's often a way to take care of ourselves spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally, right? I'm hearing that. I'm dealing your cards out, that there's a need to take care of yourself. Play is necessary because there's something that is restored when you allow yourself to enter back into that moment of not caring about anything or anyone. This is necessary. But it also feels like something physical. This is something physical. So as I began to pull out my tarot, the first thing that comes out is death, which talks about an ending, right? An ending to some type of separation spiritually, some type of withdrawal spiritually. This could even be an end to how you've approached things in the past. If you've approached it from a individualistic point of view, this could talk about that changing. The death clarified by the Hermit. So, of course, we know the death brings in change. It brings in endings. It brings in sometimes change that we may not have, we haven't requested this type of change. But this blood moon is actually going to cause this through way of an ending, a situation that may bring a period of quietness, so that you can go in and reflect and think deeply. This also is a change to how you approach things, like taking time to think things through. Think of the next step that you should make for this transition, this choice, right? Needs to be taken seriously. I believe Spirit is saying serious enough to consider it and to go into deep contemplation about this. I almost get the sense too that the choice and the path that you choose to take will be one of no return. That's why it's important to think deeply and spend time. You may need to kind of allow yourself to enter into a period of rest before actually making the decision, to make sure that you are in your right mind, in the very best place to make this decision. I feel like for you, Pisces, there are very critical decisions that are before you, that are being highlighted during this time. Whether you have decided not to deal with them purposefully, whether you just haven't known that these decisions were before you, whatever the reason, this is highlighting the fact that there are decisions that are needing to be made. The Hangman and the Strength. This will require going within. So far, I have 3 cards that talk about going within. This will be required for the level of courage that you'll need to drudge up for this. I feel like this possibly could present a difficult situation. This is stopping to think before actually making a move. This is stopping to actually think before drudging up what's needed to make this move. Because the 8 of Wands is coming out. And it almost feels like all you have to do is say a word. Like that's how much, influence and power you have over the situation. It's just a matter of doing it or making the decision. Let's see. And then the 8 of Wands is like maybe moving really fast. And needing some type of fresh perspective about that. That's why it's so important to make sure you make time during this time to stop and think and allow yourself the ability to quiet your mind, because this deserves clear thinking, whatever this is. It's a huge choice. And so before moving forward with any certain decisions, right, make sure that you put the time in. That keeps coming up to think about this. We have the King of Pentacles, clarified by the King of Wands. This could be about connections. It could be about you being in a position of being the sustainer emotionally as a King of Pentacles. There's something about this that you hold together. You are the stability, the balance in this situation. Either you are this King of Pentacles or you're dealing with a King of Pentacles. And I also see a Queen of Wands, right? And so whatever you play in this relationship, you are kind of like this balance of the stability. The other person is the doer. And this connection is built around that. There's a connection here. Someone is the doer. The other person is kind of like the glue and the stability and the balance. Sometimes you have relationships where it's like, okay, I'll go out and work and bring in all the money and you bring it home, and then the person at home kind of makes sure all the bills are paid and things are stable, right? That's the King of Pentacles. And then the Queen of Wands is the one that goes out to gather. And so there's some balance emotionally here in this dynamic. That may have something to do with the emotional influence behind this. Behind this choice that's being made. And it feels like the way you will move will be one that you will have careful consideration through. You're being trusted, right, with this decision. As you can see, the bird is holding the balances, right? So there's some level of being balanced to be able to hold these skills and keep them balanced. You're being trusted to make the right decision, to do due diligence and positioning yourself to do that, which is difficult. And this is about you, though. That's the beautiful part about it. This is about you. You get to make this decision. You have more power in this than you realize. Now, this could also say, with the justice here, that for you, this could be some type of dealings with the legal system, that you'll be taking action or you have taken action legally. I'm getting that too with this justice. And it's going to be a battle with the Page of Swords and the Ace of Wands. But whatever it is going to, I feel like with this, you'll have some additional assistance with this Ace of Wands that'll be leading you through this process to your new beginning. That's what this choice is about. It's about a new beginning. You'll end up in a space that presents you choosing something different than what it is now. So this is all about an ending for you and starting a new segment. And it doesn't mean like you are choosing a new job or choosing a new relationship. It absolutely could be. But this is about more about how you are experiencing life for the most part. There's some choice that you're conscious of. I feel that very strongly. And you knowing that some change needs to happen. It's just a matter of choosing it and doing it. How you want to implement this change. So this season is bringing in endings, whether you're ready for them or not. And this may, in fact, usher you into periods of needing to go within, to get alone, get quiet, and really think so that you can be ready to make these decisions when they come up. Spirit is just basically letting you know this is what's going to happen. It's happening. And so you could either be prepared or you take it as it comes. But it is going to require a level of discernment and courage for you to step into this and move through this. And you will have to take action. Okay? That's what I'm getting. All right. The change is coming in for Pisces. That's what I have for you. Thank you so much for stopping by. This has been Blood Moon Oracle. Just taking a look at the opportunities that are arising in this time of the blood moon. Thank you for coming in and hanging out with me. I hope you got something out of this. I hope it resonates and give you something to work with. Um, and so let me know if you have questions. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you have not. And I will see you guys at our next reading. Thank you for stopping by. It's been a pleasure. Blood Moon Oracle here. Until next time. Bye.